Yesterday, bizarre day for the NFL because around 4:30, all of a sudden, social media went, the Dolphins are going to fine or suspend players who don't honor the anthem. I thought, uh-oh, that could dominate today's show. Came out of nowhere, but then I found some other things. I found out with somebody close to the Dolphins yesterday that the Dolphins were required to post their policies as your team gets ready to go to camp. So the Ravens just posted their policies, and there wasn't anything that caught anybody's attention. You know, if there's any new policies, the Dolphins put this out that they were going to fine or suspend players who didn't honor the anthem. But they were on the clock because players reporting to camp, and they have to make this known. What happened was the NFL said, the NFL didn't consult the NFL Players Association about, hey, can we come up with something collectively here? Can we try to figure out how we can do this where it's not going to be a polarizing moment here for the game, that people are going to focus on the game itself? But they didn't do that. Typical NFL fashion, they decided back in May, hey, here's the new policy. You can stay in the locker room if you want to. What this did yesterday, in my opinion, now they've come out and said, wait a minute, hold on. None of these policies are going to be enacted. Nothing's put into play for the next couple of weeks until we get together with the Players Association. So the NFL has now acknowledged that they should have gone to the table with the Players Association in May. That's what it means to me. And just give them a formal voice as they move forward with this. But a team cannot over-punish a player. So the league has its policies. You can't have something that out-punishes a player from a team perspective than what the NFL would be handing out as far as punishment. And the NFL is not fining or suspending players. They fine a team. And I said, so what would the Dolphins be fined? And it's still vague because I was told somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000. And I said, is that per player? And the person who's close to the Dolphins wasn't sure. So we're not even sure how teams are disciplined here. But then the Dolphins saying, well, and from what I was told that this was, we have a new policy, the NFL does. Players Association said, wait a minute, we're going to file an injunction here, a grievance with you, because you didn't even include us here. Then the NFL comes back to say, oh, okay, you're going to file a grievance? Players are going to be fined or suspended. And then the Players Association said, really? Do you want to go down that road? And then all of a sudden they went, okay, wait, hold on here. Let's try to do this collectively, which is what they should have done in May. I also said, I asked, my source yesterday, I said, is business down in the NFL? Like just from a team perspective? And once again, my source close to the Dolphins said, no, business was up 6% last year. Like, are you surprised that business is up in the NFL? I mean, criticism is up. Viewership may be down a little bit. But as far as the bottom line, NFL was up 6% over the previous year. Yeah, Paulie.
Just to clarify, the Miami Dolphins do this to make a point, or are they really going to enact this policy?
I was told that they did it to make a point because the NFL Players Association filed the grievance.
Because the Miami Dolphins took they got positive backing too, but a lot of criticism yesterday as a franchise.
Stephen Ross, the owner, is supposed to be a player's owner. In fact, I think they have some type of initiative where, they're helping for racial equality. And I don't know, I think it's called RISE. But I think people were surprised that it was the Dolphins that did this yesterday. But I don't think any of this is going to be put into play. I don't think when the season starts that you could be fined. Certainly not suspended. They were talking about 4 games. And the NFL won't allow you to punish players like that.
Stephen Ross and Rise you're talking about, founded in 2015, the Miami Dolphins owner, Stephen M. Ross. So the Ross Initiative for Sports, the Ross Initiative in Sports for Equality.
So RISE.
It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to harnessing the unifying power of sports and improve race relations and drive social progress.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised it was the Dolphins, but maybe it was the commissioner said, look, you're on the clock. Let's put this out. Now, once again, I'm just speculating here. I do think the commissioner, from what I was told, the commissioner doesn't have a problem with these protests. Letting players express their feelings. I was told this, that deep down he knows that we should allow people to be people, to have an opinion, and, you know, be willing to put, you know, your money behind it. But, you know, this is from the owners. This is all about the owners. This is all about the president putting pressure on those owners. You know, people who are normally consume the game and love the game, but now they're not going to do it because they see this is attached to the flag. So there's a lot of things that are in play here. But I do think once we get to the regular season, once it starts, I don't think these punishments are going to be in play. Yeah, Paul.
Isn't it fascinating how different the NFL is than the NBA? The NBA has a rule that you should stand for. They expect you to stand as a team for the national anthem. But there's no language of punishments. There's no infighting.
But it feels like if the players said, Commissioner, we have a problem with this, or we would like to acknowledge this.
Adam Silver was asked about that. He said, if that happens, I'll deal with it when it happens. It was very casual, and it never made any big headlines.
Yeah. But I think that they work, the NFL and the NFL Players Association do not work in unison at all. Not at all. But the NBA, they do. And that's a great relationship there. And that's because Adam Silver has made it not about him, but he's made it about how do we make the league unified? That we talk about issues. We talk through issues. The NFL doesn't do that. How you don't consult the NFL Players Association? I was shocked at the time in May, and then here we are.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.